I want to talk about a sneaky little concept today that you may have heard about and maybe didn't know what it meant, and it's called bike shedding. It's also known as Parkinson's law of triviality. It's pretty cool. And no, I'm not going to give you a blueprint of how to build the ideal bike shed. That would be a total waste of time. And after you watch this video, you're going to see how what I just said is actually a clever little joke. So let's dive into what bike shedding is and how that applies to user experience. So, what does bike shedding mean? Where does it come from? And why should you care as a UX pro? Well, let's break that down. Bike shedding comes from this British dude with the last name Parkinson's, hence calling it the Parkinson's law of triviality. It comes from the 1950s. Again, a blast from the past. It's actually kind of cool that some of these concepts that we still use today came from a long time ago. I really love that. Okay, here's the story. There was this committee that was tasked with building a nuclear power plant. And instead of jumping right in on how to build this nuclear power plant, they started talking about how to build and I think specifically what color to paint the employee bike shed. Why? Because that was easier to do than figuring out the complex and complicated nuclear power plant. So a lot of people felt like, "Hey, I can contribute to and provide opinions for a bike shed because that's easy." So they were getting distracted by the easy, not important project by determining the color of the bike shed rather than focusing on what they should have been building, which was the nuclear power plant. And this, my friend, is bike shedding. Have you ever seen this happen in your team? The team gets distracted by something more fun, and then they focus on that, and it makes the project go longer and eats up the time, and they're just like swirling around something that's not important. Have you ever seen this? I have seen this. Woo, it's really frustrating. This is bike shedding. So an example of this is maybe you're creating an interface in dark mode instead of tackling a real user problem, maybe a complaint of some functionality that users have had for months, maybe years, and you haven't tackled it because it's really complicated. But dark mode is fun and easy to do. So you distract yourself and create that instead. Friend, this is bike shedding. And I know that it feels productive, but it's actually kind of a time suck, to be fair. It's really just a distraction. Does this sound familiar? And I know it sounds fun, but these little not important projects are more of a distraction rather than your team being really productive. Now, come on, admit it. Have you been guilty of bike shedding? Or has your team? I've seen it, so you are not alone if your team has been guilty of bike shedding. It's rampant out there. How can you avoid bike shedding in your projects? Well, ruthlessly prioritize. Prioritize the things that are going to have the most impact on your users and the biggest ask of them. Focus on those first. Next, time box trivial decisions. If something's really small, just literally give it 5 or 10 minutes to make that decision. Don't get caught up in that spiral of exploring it too long. Make it tight. Time box it. Design systems can also help you define parameters like that. If you've got a design system, you apply those visual elements, and you're not getting caught in corner radiuses of buttons and the color of the button and all that stuff that can really be a time suck. So a design system can help you curb some of that swirl. And then finally, you want to stay user-focused. Ask yourself, is what I'm working on really important to the user? If it isn't, maybe you shouldn't be spending so much time on it. Let's be honest with ourselves. I know that it's fun, but we really want to focus on what can bring value and impact to our users. So good UX teams really focus on what is impactful and important to the user. We don't argue about things continuously because we want to geek out on something, and we don't focus on what is fun to work on sometimes. We focus on what is important to the user. So remember, if you feel like you're spending a lot of time on a project or it's kind of spiraling out of control, you might be guilty of bike shedding. Check yourself, stop yourself, and remind yourself that you need to be focusing on the aspects of the project that bring real value to the user. Have you ever been in a battle of bike shedding? You might be leading the charge, or you might be participating and seeing it happening around you. If this is the case, leave me a comment and let me know about your bike shedding episode. If you do find these little what the episodes fun or helpful, give me a like and let me know in a comment what I should deep dive into in a future episode. Until then, I'll see you at the next session. Have a good one. Bye.